start. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. So what's going to be happening right now is, so I'm going to be doing a weekly breakdown on my pairs because I trade EU, I trade GU, I trade USD CAD, and I trade GBP JPY. Okay, just four. And I want to make sure everybody that follows me on this channel, that subscribe to this channel, have an insight on where they're expecting the market to go. Now, one thing you should know about these markets is that when it comes in terms to direction, every strategy aligns. What I mean is, the best of traders will usually know where the market will go, like regardless of strategy, regardless of how they view the market. But no matter what idea or what concept to use, if you know what you're doing, you should be having the same idea as where the market will go based on overall direction. What makes these traders differ is their time of execution, confirmation, entry, and some other high area of value that they trade off from. That what makes traders different on the chart. But when it comes to direction, it's the same. So if you watch this video, no matter what strategy you trade, as long as you watch it and understand where I'm showing you this market is going to go to, if you trade in that direction, you most likely get it. You most likely get it right. But like, as you can see, the market is dynamic. This is just Monday, and we might have a different direction from Tuesday, Wednesday to Friday. But what happens is I do a weekly review every weekend about the trades I took and what I did on the charts, my losses, my wins, my lessons, my journal. I actually talk about everything. All right, so let's go right into it. This is Euro USD and weekly time frame. So now, if you see what's going on this structure, like I said, I use market structure to determine my direction. As you can see, we are on a downtrend externally. What I mean is, we did this, we broke trade, so we need some retracement to a high value area like this, and then where's our next direction here? So we have tapped into that high value area before, as at 2023 July, and we are on our way to this level. Trust me, but it's not going to happen just once. This is a monthly chart. Sorry, this is a weekly chart. It's not going to happen just so easy. So if we zoom in, you're going to see my internal structures with red lines, and it's also in a bearish program. You see, we were once bullish, but then we flipped bearish, we broke and closed below this low, and then this is a retracement to also a high value area, and we happen to sweep buy side liquidity. So we are on our way to this low. That's our next target. It's called draw liquidity. When you're targeting a particular place in the market where you know the market or where you think the market is going to go, that's your draw liquidity. Okay, so if you look deeper from where we tapped into that point of interest, this high value point of interest, you'd see that there is another set of bearish structure coming down from, so that's my fractal structure, and as you can see, we are bearish and we just retraced to an area. Now, what's going to happen around this area is going to determine if you're going to drop further down or if you're going to break through this high. Okay, so first things first, this is supposed to be green, not red, so let me change it. So let me check my visibility too. Okay, that's only supposed to be showing on the weekly. Okay, so now if you look very carefully, you'd see that there was this supply that the market ignored. Market went right into it and ignored it. Why? Because it was not strong enough to push price down. So what I can see happening is that there is this buy side liquidity that price just ran. I like making my liquidity pools blue so that I can distinguish it from other lines on my chart. So that's what I'm talking about. So I'm marking X. So we were able to run this high. Now this is supposed to lead to a very big drop in the market, but we can't say for now because there is this bullish strength that the previous week closed. Okay, it's so bullish, right? So what I'm expecting from the market, for what I'm expecting this weekly time frame to do, this one for me right now, I'm expecting it to either close bullish or close bearish, aiming at previous week open price. Why am I thinking so? Now, if this particular point of interest, which is in the premium, now I'm going to show you what I mean when it's in the premium. If you draw your feed from this high that started, that caused this big move that broke the structure. If you draw your feed from there and stop it here, you find out that we are in the premium area above the equilibrium fib. So of course it means that this point of interest can be strong because we don't have any other one. The only next place that price can run is this area, and if price runs these areas, then we have been able to flip bullish on the weekly charts, okay, on the weekly fractal structure. So I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen, but two things are going to happen. Either this candle closes bullish, meaning we are headed for this draw liquidity, or this candle closes bearish, meaning we are headed for either this or previous week open price or previous week low. These are all liquidity spots. So the candle could be bullish, could be bearish. It's not one way direction. Because why I think, like I said, for it to close bearish, it means this place is strong enough to pull it down. For it to close bullish, it means here is weak and it's aiming to get here. So let's go to our daily chart and see what makes that whether what we saw on the weekly is valid. Now what happens is that when you're going lower on your time frames, you notice that the direction becomes clearer, because what you saw higher, when you break it down to the lower time frame, like now we're on daily, you see more reasons why price should go up or go down. Now what do we see on the daily? We have this very, so we're gonna put this red line here. It's supposed to be a red line, so let's see. Only visible on the daily charts. So what you should see is that our price literally have taken out this high, okay, this previous fractal high, and what it means is it has flipped bullish on the daily chart. So it makes the odds for price to go higher for these areas more reasonable than dropping from here. And you can see that price just plugged into an FG, so we are most likely going to be heading for this place 1.09411. You just have to look at the round figure around that area, maybe 1.09400. Yes, that should be the round figure around there. So like flats 00, you know. So we might be aiming at this point, or we might be aiming at this point, this purple point here. Why? That's because we might just change the whole trajectory on the weekly chart, which was this green place. Here was green on the weekly chart, so I'll go to the weekly chart to see it again. Okay, it's this area that is reflecting on the daily as a red line, because here's my daily internal structure. On the weekly is my fractal structure. If you don't understand what I mean, you go watch my video on market structure on this channel on the Forex course. Makes it easier for you. So as you can see, we might just get there, but that's gonna be so much of big move. So but we are expecting the closest liquidity point here or here. Now me seeing the possibility of price dropping lower is just very low on Euro USD. Trust me, the possibility of price dropping lower is just low because of what price has just done here, except we are going to drop lower for retracement reasons. Why? If you draw your fib from here to here, you'd find out that here is a discount. Price might decide to just drop inside here so that next week we continue, which was what I showed you on the weekly chart. Our price might just reach out for the previous week lows or previous week opening price and then go higher. It happens, right? It happens. But anyway, let's see how it goes. But I'm strongly bullish than bearish because of how the market is behaving. So I have my two drawn liquidities above, and let's see now on the 4-hour chart, what am I expecting? Now please don't get me wrong, I'm deleting this right now so I don't get this all fibs everywhere. This fib, this big fib you're saying, is coming from this high to this low, and I don't even think it's relevant at this point. I'm deleting it. We all know that we are in the premium of this internal structure, we all know, but then these are the point of interest that price might run to drop down, so we are aiming to get there. We know that one, right? But on the 4-hour charts, this is our fractal structure and it's very much bullish. Okay, it's very much bullish, and as you can see, we have been trending up for a long time now, and this is a super place to have as a target. Okay, this area. So how do we join that target? Well, what we normally do is that we wait for price to be on the discount level attacking any of these points of interest we have here, and then we can look to take buys to the upside. So we have areas like this is a demand zone. We have areas like this, it's fair value gap, and we also have the demand down. So wherever price feels to come down to, then we look for our confirmation and take it higher. Very simple, no stress. So let's go to GBP USD. So what's GBP USD? What's it gonna do? I think most likely what EU is gonna do, but let's still look at it in a detailed manner. So this is it. Price is literally bearish on weekly on the fractals, okay? But as you can see, we are headed for somewhere very important. As you can see in the premium level, or we have already gotten there. Okay, we have already gotten there. So we have already gotten there. All right, and we just ran that. So we just running that. Does not look like it has any intention to drop. Just see the bullish strength we used to come here. So it looks more like we are gonna make it to this high, or we're gonna go up, which matches what I said about Euro USD. Okay, if you're somebody here that looks at DXY, well, I can't say it's bad, but I will never look at DXY. Now in trading, you need as much peace as possible, as much calmness as possible. You don't need too many thoughts, too many options in your head. So when you start looking at DXY, what happens to you? You become confused, you become scared, you run into anxiety. Why? Because you're just looking at too many things. You're looking at three pairs to decide just the direction of a pair. That's too much, if you ask me. So I used to use DXY before, but I stopped. I just want to focus on the pair and treat every pair independently, regardless of any other pair. So what's this is that I'm looking at GBP USD running up the way high here on the weekly chart. So I'm expecting the weekly chart to be bullish, as I'm saying. The weekly candle to be bullish. Like this week candle to be bullish, as I'm saying. So if you look at the daily charts, you still see the same thing. Where is price most likely going to run to? Since we have run this place, but we can't see any much reaction from that liquidity point, then I think this is going to be my draw liquidity. Is high, at least it's going to be my draw liquidity. Look at the numbers. 1.28034 is my draw liquidity on GU. Let's see if it gets smashed this week. If it gets smashed, fine. I think I might have one or two trades. I might still not have any entries to get there, because I'm very, very conservative and disciplined with my entry drill, because it tells me whether price will go there or not. I'm not going to force my way to that point because I think it's going to go there. It could literally drop all the way down. I can't tell, but it looks like it's going to go higher to this level more than it's going to go lower. All right, so on the 4-hour chart, what do I see? So now we are bullish on the 4-hour chart, like literally very, very bullish, and we just broke the previous structure. So if you draw our fib from this low to this high, you find out that we are not yet in the discount level. So this is a discount level right here, and we have this demand zone. So if price happens to retrace back to this demand zone, or price happens to run this stuff I call sell side liquidity here, market X, if price happens to do that, that's very lovely. Okay, that would be very, very lovely. Price drops in, and as it runs this place, it enters this discount level, that'll be fine. Take things higher. Okay, that's the second idea. That's what I see for GBP USD, and it might happen, it might not happen, but I'm very bullish on GBP USD. So let's go to the next pair, USD card, the most confusing amongst all. So what's USD card trying to do? I have no idea. USD card is bullish, of course. As you can see, we have plugged this amount on the weekly chart, and you see we are going higher to this level. Feel me? So any of the drama you see around here is most likely going to bleed into this place. But if you draw your fib, okay, if I draw my fib from here to this point, you see that we have entered the discount before and we're going higher. So most times when the market loses momentum to go higher, when the market loses momentum to go higher, it tries to go lower and seek sell side liquidities that rest in the discount area below 50%. It tries to do that, and that's going to be some kind of long sales. Okay, so when it sells to that point, it runs something, then it resumes its way up with much more aggression because it just picked up some liquidity, and some people's money right there. So then it aggressively goes up. Okay, so that's what I think USD CAD is going to do. Okay, so if you ask me, I'd say it looks like we are gonna go to this level on the weekly chart, and my drawn liquidity is around that same area. So 1.34823, around that. Maybe just look for a round figure like 1.35. That's okay too, but this is where I'm expecting price to run to. So if you look at it from this perspective, you see that it's very much likely to do that because we have plugged into the demand and we have not seen any reasonable activity from it. Now this might okay, let me make this thing reflect on my daily charts. So this might not really, so this might not just drop straight to this point. It might drop to a 4-hour demand that is building inside here and go up. It might, or it might just go straight down. So but what I can see, the most reasonable place for me to point that price is gonna go on USD CAD is lower. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, let's see what's going on. When price plugged into this the big demand, there was no corresponding POI here, more likely why it's not strong enough. So I think based on what I'm saying, that price will also drop lower to this demand that corresponds with that and go up. Yes, there's a possibility it does that, right? Which I'll be buying at that place. Like at this POI, look for my confirmation here. Not buy and hold too long, but just to the next 15 minutes high, because I know that we are bearish on the 4-hour structure. So now what else can happen? Price can from here and also transport itself to this place. When it does that, I'll monitor the momentum and the force and everything it uses to get here. If it's going to be news influenced or whatever, I'll monitor it and I'll know if price will most likely drop from here. And if I see the signs I like, I'll short from here. Where are we aiming? Shorting from here, we are aiming at, yes, normally I'll exit at this level, but I know that the market is most likely going to be coming here to fly later, or coming sorry, let me draw it again. From here, either come here to fly later or come to this area. I'm telling you, before the main bullish move happen. What area is this? The purple line that I showed you guys on the weekly charts that has a high potential of pulling price higher. So that's what I think for USD CAD. So literally I'm waiting for USD CAD to either drop here for me to look for confirmation to go higher, okay, or we drop here. So based on what I see on the weekly, seeing it drop here has a higher chance of happening. Now it mustn't go to the supply before dropping here. Mind you, it could just literally slide and come here. It's possible. If it slides like this, fails this other block or reacts very poorly from the other block, I can wait for a retracement to a premium level of the new swing. Remember, if we break it, I've had a new bearish swing. Wait for a retracement level to the premium of the new swing and then aim lower. Now this, for me, this is going to be the sweetest and the best trade without any doubt. This one might give me some doubts. Trading to buy from here might give me some doubts. That's my chop 2 strategy. This one coming here, like literally coming here to trade off, might give me some doubts, which I'll risk a bit lower. But the one that will give me the most confidence is trading this way to come down. Like I'll literally like it and I'll use my normal risk for this. So every of those ones, even price coming here, I might not take that trade if I see some red flags. But let's move on to GBP/JPY. So what do I see on GJ? GJ is very, very bullish. So if you look at GJ from the weekly time frame, you find out that we are clearly headed for this high. This high is very important on GJ. Okay, we are clearly headed for that high. So if we look at what is doing on the daily, look at what's doing on the daily, you find out that we are clearly headed for here. Now this is an example of what I told you that was happening on USD CAD. That when price is slowly creeping to a place like this and it loses momentum, it tries to run back into the discount levels to either enter an FEG or runs a low or something of this sort to go higher. That's what I explained for you on USD card. But in this case, GJ has done it before, so the chances of it happening again, I think, is lower. So we don't know the news event we have, so we'll check the news event we have too for this week. So if there's a news event, what's going to happen is price is literally going to, from here, go to where it's going to go. It's not going to have to come down and play around, you know. So looking at GJ, that's what I think. So as you can see, let's go to the 4-hour charts. I have some network issues, right? So on the 4-hour charts, as you can see, price entered this demand. This was the trade I caught last week, okay, from here, and I called it too before it happened for my students, and also on YouTube, my last breakdown, my weekly breakdown. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to run its way down to these demand areas or these averages we have around here. So why? It's because it's going to help us, you know, take this higher. Because what is my draw liquidity? My draw liquidity is up here. So I'm going to put my purple line so you can see the price. I'm expecting price to get to 200.569. Now, one thing you should know is when I mark my draw liquidity, it's not like price must come here. Is where I think price is most likely going to go and has more reasons to get there. Okay, so bear this in mind. I didn't say you should start doing anything to get to that point. If you like my entry model and my other, you know, approach to my strategy, you can adopt it. But if you don't have, you can also adopt yours. But watching out for this direction I call. See you in the next video. Remember, my next weekly video is going to be a weekly review, okay, about the trades I took, my losses, my wins, my break-evens, my lessons, everything. See you in the next video. Peace out.